Hi, thank you so much, Morgan, for your beautiful words. And I'm so happy to connect with you, all of you. Well, happy and at the same time a little bit sad because I really wanted be there in present this year, but it couldn't happen. But I hope next year I can be with all of you there and we can connect in a deeper way. So thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much for Nicolas and Rafaela for organizing this amazing event and everybody who is working here, the whole team to make this happen. My name is Adrienn Light. I'm a light body and pranic consciousness holder. And just try to introduce myself a little bit before I start. My first meeting here with all of you in the Pranic Festival was in 2019 when I was pregnant with my second child. She arrived here in this consciousness where I already had this consciousness. So the whole pregnancy, it was so special. And also that was the first time for me to meet all of you through this festival. In 2016, I received a very important change, transformation, where my original three-dimensional body was changed to my light body. At that moment, I experienced how the old soul who was connected to this vessel leave this body and a new soul, a new spirit entering to this field. This spirit has a very high consciousness and it's whole different being than what I had connected here before. So my whole life and everything changed immediately. It took 2 years for me to be able to stabilize this state, to be able to grant this state in me. It took me 2 years to understand everything and basically download all this will happen to my physical mind. Together with this transformation, I received new capacities and my whole system started to functioning differently than before. At that moment where I realized that I'm in a pranic state. Which means for me, pranic state, when you are experiencing the fullness in the emptiness. This state, I'm not connecting to just food, I'm connecting to everything in life. When you complete yourself, when you complete your consciousness and dissolving the illusion of separation, when you are able to go beyond of the separation and be one with everything. At that state where you are, you realize that you don't need anything and you are complete the way how you are. So to achieving this pranic state, the pranic consciousness, it's fundamental for every being. However, maybe it's not for you at this moment in this incarnation, and it is okay also. Or one day you will arrive to this consciousness, to this state. And I know that a lot of people would like to arrive to this state doing different fasting and ignoring food. And I also know that a lot of people have problem with the food, digesting food. And maybe not just with food, the whole three-dimensional reality itself. So when we are digesting food, we are digesting, eating, receiving the iced energy from the three-dimensional field. So basically, we are becoming one with this blueprint. And of course, if you have any resistance with this dimension, with this frequency, then you experience resistance to food. And it can be in a conscious way or in a subconscious way. But maybe you're experiencing difficulties in digestion, maybe occurring some allergies, food intolerances. And when you are in this path, you are seeking two different diets. And maybe this is how you arrived here to Breatharianism. Breatharianism means that someone holds the physical body without needing to eat. Basically, this is how I experienced after my transformation in 2016. But then I was guided to go forward and be one with the physical food also. And that moment I realized that I have to be one with everything. And I cannot ignore anything. And that moment when I experienced the fullness in emptiness. So maybe you are teaching and training your body to survive without food. And it's so good, it's a good experience. A good experience for the self to see that you are maintaining, you are creating yourself from inside. You are not depending from the outside world. You are independent being. And you are able to create yourself, your essence, through you, through your inner vessel. And that moment when you are realized that you don't need anything because everything is inside of you. And when you realize your fullness, basically in the emptiness. So the pranic state means experiencing the whole fullness in the emptiness. And for me, it's not depending on food. So when you arrive to that state that you are able to maintain your essence or your consciousness in every frequency, in every dimension, so at that moment you are free. And that moment you are able to integrate your fullness in everything. So my journey started here, and I have to say my incarnation started here in 2016 when I arrived to this field, and where I started to see that this higher frequency body, light body, it's not depending on the physical existences of the physical substance around us. This body is able to create itself and maintain itself the essence from within. And I was like this, like 2 years, seeing how my body works. And then I realized that this capacity, this consciousness, is not just connected to food, it's connected to everything. So it's connected to love. When you are able to receive this divine love inside of you, through you, and it's not depending from outside, it's coming to you. When you realize that your health, the state of your body, is depending from your inner vessel, and it's not depending from the external situations, then you realize that you are able to auto-heal, auto-regulate your whole being. And so all the different aspects in life, you are experiencing this fullness and this wholeness. And this is the pranic state where you achieve this. When you are working with this to achieving it, you have to work towards several and different multidimensional layers. It's not just about not eating or try to fast. It's so interesting because when we are fasting, fast means that you don't give your body something that you used to give. So you fast, you don't give it to. And automatically your body enters in the need state. Enters in, oh, I don't receive something that I used to receive. And some part of your body, it's a kind of punishment. And it's so interesting that, so you train your body not eating and you want to experience the fullness through that state, that you don't give your body something which was so important for your body. And it's not important for your body to, because just eat. Because basically through eating, becoming one with the physical three-dimensional reality. So basically when you are eating, you are taking in this iced energy, this information from the three-dimensional field into your vessel. And that's why your body wants to connect always to the three-dimensional, because it wants to maintain the physical appearance, wants to maintain the physical reality. But at the moment when you are able to flip the experience and basically feeling that when you are not eating, you have a chance to be or go a little bit beyond of the physical. And maybe that experience gives you the insight or the experience to be able to see from other perspective your physical life and your whole being. And that moment you are able to see differently the physical. What you have to understand that you create everything. So whole physical experience which is around you, it's your creation. Basically, you want to separate yourself from that creation to be able to fund yourself. And somehow you have to do this practice like two together, being one with the physical, experiencing your wholeness, but at the same time leaving space for you from the physical to be experience your pure self. So I receive a lot of questions always how someone be able to connect to the pranic state. And I have to say that you have to play with each existences. Don't go just one direction. You never ever one direction has a goal or has a finished state. So everything is infinite. So if you just go to one direction, you are not able to experience the whole. And what I say always, just go a little bit here, a little bit there, then here and here and here. Because at the end, it's all you. And it's all your creation. And basically, what we want to achieve, we become one with everything. And you're just able to become one with everything at the moment when you are able to integrate everything. So I always say to my students, the people who are connecting with me and I'm working with them to, you know, they are coming to me to the retreats and they are doing prolonged fasts and they are coming so prepared for the retreat and then saying, okay, I will fast the whole retreat to achieve this and this and this. And I say, no, it's not about fast. And it happened with few people that I connected to the higher self of the person. And what I had to say to the person, look, instead of doing fast during the whole retreat, you will eat. And it was like, what? Are you serious? And at the end, they became so happy because this is what they needed at that moment. So I always say to experience the pranic state, you have to become in love with the physical until you are not able to feel this infinite love to the physical, the infinite love to this three-dimensional creation. Then you have inside some separation. And maybe you just want to run away from something that you think that you cannot deal with it. So to be able to experience the pranic state, you have to fall in love to the physical. And the physical contains the physical food. And it's not good or bad. Also, it's so important to understand. Because the human mind always labels, says it's good or no, it's bad. I have to go to this direction to achieve this. Or I have to go to that direction to achieve other things. The three-dimensional world, it's working, functioning the way how it is. So it's always depending of the vibration, what is on that level of dimension. And on a three-dimensional vibrational field, what you can experience is a separation. And it's not separation because it's that bad. It's separation because the frequential field, the vibrational field, is that slow. So it seems that it's so far from the oneness. And that's why here in this three-dimensional field, the beings experiences separation. But it's all just an illusion. And it is just the characteristics of that frequential field. And that's why the beings here, for example, eat. Because here the frequential field, the vibrational field is that low, that we have that illusion that we need something from the external to complete ourselves. As a being here, the vibrational field is not that quick to be able to experience the oneness within. Then we are experiencing the oneness through different parts. And through that different parts, we are completing ourselves. What you have to understand, it's not good or bad. It's like, imagine that you have a tall building and you have an elevator inside of that tall building, and you are able to go to the building. Doesn't say one level it's worse than the other. It has just different characteristics. And this is the beautiness in it. So the experience through the different dimensions, the different frequencies is depending how you speed up or low vibrational field. And this is how you are experiencing. What you have to understand that conscious is not going to up, for example. The expansion of consciousness, it means that to every side, you are expanding your consciousness. And what I have to say that each consciousness, each frequential field contains the other. So it's not something like this that you have to ignore the three-dimensional to achieve a higher state. You have to implement the three-dimensional to be able to integrate your higher expanded frequential state. So, and here come back the thing, how to experience this and why it's so important what we are doing here. So basically this event, it opens you the opportunity to experience yourself without the physical substance, to experience your true essence and to realize who you are without everything. Or when you go back into the three-dimensional life, it's so important to be able to integrate the three-dimensional field into your being and into your essence. This is how you are able to experience the oneness, the fullness through you. In 2022, my vessel was so prepared that I was able to receive unfurnished through me. Unfurnished is a crystal clear consciousness holder, and I started to work through her. And then came 2 years in my life when I was downloading the Pranic system, which is a 4 modules program, basically revealing the whole creation of the universe and opening the whole multidimensional self. So if you are feeling the call to connect with me or work with me, I'm offering online sessions, online retreats, and also presential retreats. And also I wanted to share with you because lately a lot of persons say to me, originally I'm Hungarian, but now I'm living in Spain with my beautiful family. 2 daughters, 5 and 10 they are now. So I have conversation, how is the 2 pregnancy with these 2 different consciousness, with these 2 different body. And it's just amazing the difference, how it is. I would like to offer the space to you if we have any question. I'm so happy to answer some.
Thank you so much, Adrienn. It's always a pleasure to hear you sharing. We have a first question, which is, in this moment when you had this download of Infinite, how did you know what was happening and what changed for you in that time exactly?
Oh, thank you so much. From the beginning and the first moment, I was guided. So I was assisted through a whole team, not a physical team, uh, through light beings. And through that existence or the existence of that group, that team, I never ever felt myself alone. And I always knew what's happening. I felt myself in an incredible safe place. However, there were some moments in my life, basically the 2 first years, where sometimes the downloads came that quickly or that much that there was a moment when my physical self started to questioning or started to feel, oh no, it's like too much. But then it started to equilibrate or I wanted to experience.
Adrienn, just one moment. Our internet froze. So this last like 30 seconds, we didn't catch any of it. Sorry. Can you just go back a bit?
Yeah, sure. So it wasn't something that I was planned on the physical. It's all happened spontaneously. And later, I received the downloading that it was planned, and it was planned from the beginning of my incarnation. But with that self, with that soul, I didn't know all this. I didn't have this connection that I have now. So I couldn't see the whole picture. And basically, all this transformation happened that I was so cared. And they look after a lot how I'm able to integrate the information, or it's a frequency. My physical mind translated into information, but it's frequency. How my physical vessel is able to integrate all these frequencies. And if I have to say with an example, the whole consciousness is depending of which type of TV you have. So if you have a good quality TV, for example, the latest technology, you are able to catch or receive a whole bunch of channels, different channels from all over the world. If you have a basic TV, which has 20 years, for example, you are not able to catch that much channels or programs through your TV. So the TV programs, the channels are running. It's just depending of your TV, of your receive and get. So that's why I'm always saying it's how you are able to experience consciousness is depending of your physical vessel. How prepared is your physical vessel? You are able to receive an expanded frequential state of consciousness. And then all the information what I'm then loading is just yes.
Okay, perfect. Oh, we're blasting the internet with our high frequencies here. So I'm going to repeat our last question, which was about your family life and how you are raising your children with your pranic lifestyle. And that's a very broad question, but also if anyone else in your family has been following you in your pranic lifestyle, your partner or other family members.
Oh, I love this question, and I'm so happy to speak about this and share with you. So, as in my life, I didn't plan to this transformation, and I didn't speak about this with my husband and with my children. But as I changed my frequency field, so change myself, basically the frequential field of my husband changed also. Basically the stuff who's connected to his body is changed also. And although he on the physical field, we never spoke about this, but he started to eat less, and he started to skip days, skip meals, and basically eating very little. And regards to my children, for my children, for me, it was so important to show them the love, to start to understand the love to the three-dimensional field. So this is what I teach them, how to enjoy and how to connect with everything in the three-dimensional with this love. And for the children, they are so sensitive, so they are starting to grant their physical vessel, their essence, into this field, into this three-dimensional field. For them, it's so important the grounding. That's why they are so happy and so active, and they just want to dive deep in the physical. Because what they have to do now is to dive deep in the physical. When they arrive to around 20, 30s, the vessel is grounded enough, equilibrated enough in an ideal situation to be able to expand the consciousness and be able to maintain a multidimensional consciousness through the physical vessel. But for it, it's so important to have a stable foundation. And at that moment, for them, the most important to stabilize their essence in this three-dimensional field through love and joy, and to get it everything. So we are putting so much effort and attention that they try everything, that they have a colorful life and enjoy themselves through the physical. And yes, how I mentioned, as my husband and me, my husband automatically started to receive way much less food than before. And when he decides to eat, it's way lighter than what he had before. It's not something that he planned. It happened in his life automatically. He was leading. He was guided to do this. Automatically, when you change the frequential field of yourself, it implements the whole surrounding of you. And you don't have to speak about it. It happens naturally, automatically. So we are now here in the family in this process to showing our children the three-dimensional and how they are able to ground and stabilize their essence. And at the same moment, living a high frequential state through our family. At the beginning, when I received my transformation in 2016, at the beginning there were a lot of interferences. So basically what happened is my frequential field changed, but the surrounding still not. So I had to expand myself to be able to change my surroundings also, and equilibrate my surroundings. And this is how my husband changed also. And yes, this is how we live here. I'm not pushing anything to my children. I'm waiting in them when it will open on them and how it will open. And it's so important for us also to let the experience of the self. Somebody has the experience now to just leave the physical, and it doesn't have to say that that being is not conscious or developed being. So what you have to understand, try to not label and try to not put it good or bad, and just observe and let the experience for each and everybody, because this is how her or his light is able to expand.
Thank you, Adrienn. So beautiful and well said. We have another question here.
Hello, Adrienne.
Hola, hi.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure and so calming to hear you. Um, I want to ask you if I understood you well. You were saying that in this pranic nourishment process, to get in love with the physical, and if I got you well, like the physical is mean the physical body, the physical life, the physical eating. Um, so how it looks like to be in love with the physical.
Hmm. Every taste, every texture, and every smell reminds us something. I'm sure that you experienced in your life that you went somewhere and you just felt a smell and it remembered you something. Or maybe you have your favorite foods from the childhood. So basically, everything we are linked to something. And when someone has issues with the physical substance, with the physical food, uh, if you start to open this information, it will lead you to more understandings about your being. And you have to work on those memories, on those blueprints or programs or informations, experiences. And when you are equilibrated, the frequential field there, then you are able to receive this information without any resistance. And basically, you are able to experience this love through all these connections. Everything that happened in your physical life, and not just in this incarnation, in all, you have an energy connection to that moment. And through the physical food or through this work that I just say to you, you are able to go back into that memories, into that information, and then heal, liberate, equilibrate, name how you want, that connection. And that moment, you are able to expand yourself, you are able to expand your consciousness, and you are able to experience this love uh, through the whole substance, through the whole existence. I don't know if I answered to your question or you have more towards it. I'm open to open it more if you have more.
So yeah, I feel that like I got an answer, but maybe what I'm asking is if you have more to share about practical ways of of how it looks like, because I hear you now like talking more about like the essence of loving it, but like in the practical way, in the day-to-day life, from your life or from the life of the participants that you are guiding, uh, if you have anything more to add about it.
Mhm. Um, so, for example, to have an idea for you, I'm not I'm not separating myself from food, so I'm not living a life without the presence of food. I'm able to be in either state, and I'm not putting any effort, any label, any separation in each state. One changed. When I'm eating, I'm not eating to nurture my body or to fill up my body. I'm eating just for the experience. But I'm not separating myself. I'm in a state of mother, and to showing my kids have to stabilize and ground themselves in the physical. So at that moment in my life, I have more like a more human formed or structured life. When I'm working or when I'm practicing, when I'm going out from that frequential state, I don't realize the need of food and even to breathe. You just experience the fullness, just be. And so this is what I teach to the persons who are coming to me, to be able to integrate to the different frequential fields and to be able to behave in every situations, in every frequential vibrational state, depending of its character. Maybe the other answer to your question, if, for example, someone has a gluten intolerance, it has an information in the back. And the solution is not that, okay, I have gluten intolerance, lactose intolerance, I cannot digest it, and that I'm bloated from everything, and I don't like to socialize, and I don't find my place here. So the solution is to meditate and not eating. Because although you are doing this, you are running from something. And you are isolating yourself from the core information. So rather, when somebody has any intolerance, the sign is see there, and when you are able to just neutralize this information, so that moment you are there. This practice of pranic state is to expand that much your consciousness that you are not part of the matrix anymore, but you realize that you are creating the matrix. And that moment when you are connecting to this field in a different way. Now, could I answer somehow, or could I help? Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing, Adrienn. So there seems to be, I have a question as well. So, and then we're close to the hour, so maybe this might be the last question. There seems to be a theme arising that I'm noticing through listening to many speakers about a pranic way of living in a pranic state is not about whether or not you consume or not consume solid food or even liquid food. It's more a state of being. And so my question is that, for instance, we're at Eden Center. So Nicholas has created these 4 levels of pranic living. 0 being I've never heard of it. It's a mystery. And level 4 is I consume nothing, no calories at all. Just to give a spectrum of what is possible. Everyone is breatharian, even if you've never heard of it. We are all it's somewhere on that spectrum. So if it is not about consuming or not consuming, what is the difference for someone who is listening and they say, oh, breatharian, but you eat? It might be a confusion for them. So can you expand a little bit on what that means for you, what being in a pranic state, but this kind of hybrid way where you can consume or not, it's the same. Can you just speak to that a little bit more?
The pranic state, it means for me to experience the wholeness in everything. And it's not connected to any diet categories. And if I say, for example, there are vegans, there are vegetarians, there are breatharians, and all these just boxes. So yes, when I had, after my transformation in 2016, I would say yes, I'm a Breatharian. But then I received several downloads about, you are not a Breatharian. So when I'm labeling myself as a Breatharian, I'm maintaining in a separation. So I don't want to say that I'm this or that. You experience the wholeness. And basically when I opened this and I said, okay, I'm not a vegetarian, so my consciousness leveled up, because this is when I would able to integrate all the different levels at once. And since then, you cannot put me in a category and saying, no, Adrienn is this or Adrienn is that, because I have periods of time when I'm not eating at all. I have periods of time when I'm eating, when I eat less, when I eat more. So it's always changing, and I'm not putting not an effort, not an thinking or anything around this anymore. I'm just experiencing at the moment, which is take for me that moment. And so yes, for me the pranic state is when you are experiencing the wholeness and the fullness, and it's not just related to food. So that's why I say that it's for me the pranic state, it's when you experience the wholeness through, for example, love, because it's the same. For example, we try to receive the love through our partners or through our friends, different connections, because we are not able to fulfill ourselves the way how we are. And it's the same what people are doing with food. So my system, this capacity, it's switch on me, and I'm able to not eat, and I'm also able to eat. It's depending on any situation, how I'm doing or how I'm behaving. Um, as I'm living in a family and I'm raising my kids, for me it's important that my kids live in a family environment, when we're sitting together to have a dinner, when they are home at lunch. So I'm sitting with them and I behaving as a normal mom, because they arrived to the physical essence to experience the physical. So it's important for me to give them a safe environment where they can experience that frequential field. And yeah, so you cannot put me anymore in any categories because I'm just not fitting, and I don't want to fit in all these categories. But the pranic state, the pranic consciousness, yes, I'm holding it, and it's with me. At the moment when you are activated, you never lose it. So it's always in you, and it's always with you, and it's not depending on if you eat that bread, then you lose that capacity. It's the same. However, now I'm riding a bicycle. I also able to swim, and I'm not forgetting swimming. But when I'm in a pool, I remember and I swim. But I'm born to swim outside of the pool. So it's something like this. And in between the Breatharianism, I teach everybody who come to me to reach the pranic state, rather than the state of forcing, not eating.
So beautifully explained, Adrienn. Thank you so much. We're at the top of the hour now. So I've just posted a link to your website, and I'll put it in our chat for the whole Eden Center and festival chat that we have everybody on. And so you're offering membership, monthly membership, as well as one-on-one, correct? And also retreats. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I have a monthly membership where you can meet with me every month through a and working with me. And also I'm guiding retreats and online sessions. So anybody would like to connect with me, I'm so happy to having you.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Adrienn, for sharing all that you have with such an open heart and such a loving presence. Everyone's clapping here now. So it's
Thank
always it's always so lovely to be basking in your warmth of your presence. Thank you for joining us at the festival again this year, and we look forward to talking with you again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sending you all my love. Thank you.